Thanks so much for coming, all of you. But I'm very happy to see you and that you took the time to join us this morning. I know it's early, but I'm very, very happy to have this event taking place today because I feel this has been a week with temperature change and the Festa della Salute that kind of brings you maybe more to yourself. So I think it's the perfect way to end this week. And welcome to you who have not been at a Creative Mornings, which is the majority of you today, which is fantastic. So our community is getting bigger and bigger. To maybe shortly introduce what Creative Mornings is all about. It was founded in New York in the late 90s. And nowadays it's more than 300 cities worldwide that take part in this project. Every month there is a theme which gets chosen by the headquarters in New York. And each city is then responsible to find a speaker and a sponsor for breakfast that in a way maybe links to the theme. And this month's theme is thread. This was presented by the Derby chapter in the UK, and the beautiful illustration that you see here was made by the designer Carla Lee. There's always a different designer every month that presents kind of their creative practice. And I'm also happy to announce that Creative Mornings is now sponsored by Adobe. And for this month's theme thread, we will focus on mindfulness, emphasizing the importance of awareness, of connection, of the continuity of our experiences. And mindfulness allows us to observe reoccurring patterns in our behavior, in our thoughts, and in a way, kind of understanding these threads can lead to a greater self-awareness and personal growth. Mindfulness can also strengthen not only the bond to ourselves, but to the people around us, like what we do with Creative Mornings. And we're very happy to have Gaia Gottipavero here with us this morning. And before I introduce Gaia, I just wanted to say a thank you as well to our breakfast sponsor this morning, La Barca di San Barnaba. For those who don't know the boat, do go and check it out. It's been there since 1947, founded by the family Tiozzo. And they have kindly sponsored us with some fresh produce, so to have a fresh, healthy start into this day. And now to Gaia. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm very happy to be here.
Gaia became a mindfulness trainer and supervisor as a response to some health issues, but she will tell us a little bit more about that. And she's convinced that mindfulness contributes to living a happier life. Her mission is to help those who wish to bring change into their everyday life. And she trains mindfulness. She works with the Mindfulness Association and offers mindfulness and compassionate training, supervises teachers of the MBLC program, and designs and conducts trainings for companies, schools, and private individuals, as well as private or public organizations. And we're very happy to have her here today. We had the pleasure to have a beautiful experience with Gaia already. This is why we invited her to come back, because it has brought us some very beautiful things, and we would like to share these with you. So thanks so much for being here, Gaia.
It's a huge pleasure to be here. So happy to share mindfulness, and because it's so part of my experience, mindfulness, because I learned mindfulness because of my health problem. After many years of struggling with a health condition, I had been diagnosed with a rare malformation in my intestine, and there was nothing that medicine could do for me. And then, life happens. And so I began meditating. And through this meditation, I met Rob Nairn, who is the founder of Mindfulness Association. And it was just a magic meeting, I would say. And so I began translating for him because my previous training was as an interpreter. So I met him and I translated for him, and then he said, listen, we need to spread this approach of mindfulness in Italy. Would you like to be trained to be a mindfulness teacher? And first of all I said, no. I just want to practice. And translate for you is more than enough in this life with my condition. And then he said, I'm not convinced, you didn't convince me. So he introduced me the director of the Mindfulness Association, all the stuff, and they decided that I had to be trained. So then I accepted, so I went to Scotland, UK, and I trained. And we founded INNERSIGHT, that is a company whose mission is to develop and to spread mindfulness association approach. So mindfulness, compassion, insight, mindfulness for life, and then some teacher training for mindfulness teacher. And then I supervise. And so my life changed completely. And I still have my malformation, but my relation with that totally changed. And so my life totally changed. And that's why I'm so convinced that mindfulness can really improve our lives. And then in this life, through the threads that we are linking us together, I met other incredible people. Lama, I translated for them, and then Mark Leonard, and I learned social mindfulness. That is a social approach to mindfulness, taking care of relationships. Yeah, with people. So many threads between us. And so taking care of this, and this is my mission, taking care of people and of our relations.
Oh, that's beautiful. Continuiamo in inglese. Ti va bene?
Sure.
We'll continue in English. I hope that's okay for you. Yes? Okay. Could you explain to us, I don't know, is there anyone in the group here today who practices mindfulness? Oh, look at all of them. Okay,
Wonderful.
great.
Wonderful.
But could you explain, maybe for those of us who are not so familiar, what is mindfulness? Sure. And what is mindfulness to you? And how did you start? What difficulties did you encounter with working on your mindfulness? And how can we all practice to be more mindful?
So mindfulness means implies bringing attention to the present moment intentionally, with a kind and non-judgmental attitude. It means knowing what's happening while it's happening without preference, accepting, welcoming everything that is happening. This is mindfulness. It looks so difficult, so big. It's not. It means just being there and welcoming life. Normally, we are used to, because we work, our brain works on on habitual patterns, and our habitual patterns are of being distracted. Our mind wanders, and we get caught on thoughts, just hooked by thoughts. So with mindfulness, we learn to observe that and welcoming all that without rejecting. We are used to fight, reject. We waste a lot of energy rejecting our feelings, emotions, rejecting life. So with mindfulness, we make peace with this and just relax and notice what happens while it happens. And it is also a training. Mindfulness is both an attitude, being present, and a training, the meditation that led us to be present.
But it's not easy in today's world.
No, because we are used to work.
Yeah.
We're used to hurry. We are always hurrying, always hurrying.
The next thing, the next thing, the next
because
thing.
the society we live in is the performance society. We are performing, always performing something. But we apply this performance habit also in our inner environment. So it's more difficult because we don't, in our inner environment, the same rules don't apply. So we need to learn to be And we are always caught on doing mode. It is called doing mode because we problem solve our inner experience. But our inner experience needs just to be welcomed. And then sometimes it can solve by itself. It takes courage. It's difficult because it takes courage. And it's counterintuitive. Because we think that if there's something, I need to do something, I need to fix it, do something with that. Instead, with mindfulness, we learn just be, notice, welcome life. So it's counterintuitive, but it works. So, which are the main challenges for mindfulness? Slow down is the first one. We're not used to slow down. It doesn't mean becoming slow. My mind is very quick. It doesn't mean becoming slow. It just means slowing down. Because when we rush too much, we don't have time. We don't leave a space to see. We're spacious, but we don't realize it because there are so many things to do in our list. We have a big to-do list and a very small to-want list. I'm a promoter of want-to-want list, something I do love. And so we can begin by slowing down and then introducing small steps. In our trainings, we just begin with small things. So 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 3 minutes to begin. And then more and more and more. So practice can become a part of life.
And what is the difference then? I mean, because when I thought about mindfulness, the first thing I thought about meditation. And I always thought, oh my God, I'm so bad at meditating. Because when I close my eyes, first of all, you need to be in a space where it's quiet, and then you need to close your eyes, and you need to be so present, and don't think about anything, and I can't do it. And I remember what you taught us, but I would like to ask you, like, what is the difference between mindfulness and meditation? Is there a difference? Are we getting to mindfulness through meditation? And for all of those who are unable or think they're unable to meditate, what would your advice be?
This is a beautiful question. I love this question. So, this is really how our minds work. Meditation is a big word. So in our mind becomes the expectations of how meditation should be. Quiet, no thinking, posture, ideas, and long time. It's not true. Meditation is a big word. So here we are working with resting in awareness. So it's an awareness meditation. Mindfulness is a kind of meditation where we just bring our attention to the present moment. So it's a framework, it's a different framework. And we don't need anything in particular. A chair is perfect. A room, perfect. Walking to the street, perfect. No rules. We can just meditate everywhere. There's two kinds of meditation. The formal meditation where there is a framework, so posture, intention, motivation, but we don't need a quiet place, candles, incense, silence. No, just a normal room, a normal chair, and just be there. And the intention of being there. This makes the difference, not the environment. Our intention makes the difference. And second, there is the informal meditation, where you can just live your life, put the intention of being present. So sometimes it looks so difficult because we think it is difficult. We have so many expectations about how it should be. It should not be there. It should not be like that.
How do you stop your mind from meditation? You close your eyes and, as she said, all the things I need to do, all the problems I need to solve. We never stop. And it's a nightmare. You spend half an hour trying to clean
This is the second beautiful question. How do you stop your mind?
Yeah, bravo.
You don't stop it. Simple as that. You don't stop it. You just watch, observe, kindly, with kindness. You kindly observe your mind. Thoughts are a great lama, founder of Sanyeling in Scotland, who passed away 10 years ago, and I had the chance to meet him. Akon Rinpoche just said, thoughts are the richness of mind. We don't want to get rid of thoughts. We don't want the mind go blank. Absolutely. We just want to welcome life and just being focused. Just watch it without being involved with thoughts. The problems are not the thoughts. The problem is our involvement with thoughts. The fact that we are always caught up in thinking, always hooked by our habitual patterns. This is the main thing, not the thoughts. So it's also another idea about meditation. Get rid of the thoughts. Tranquil mind. This is not true. This doesn't work, simply. Because as you said, things come and go, and it's normal. We just can let come and go without trying to get rid of them. The problem is trying to get rid of them. Because when you try to get rid of thoughts, you reinforce the patterns of being distracted. So it's a vicious circle. If you say, okay, I'm here, many thoughts, just being there, focused on my support, on my breath or sounds, staying there, watching, then my habit is strong. So I get caught up in thinking, I noticed it, and come back. Notice it and come back. Notice and come back. Notice and come back. And I train my mindful muscle. So I train my attention. This is mindfulness. So it is much simpler than we think.
I had someone once teach me that the mind is not you, the mind is just a tool. And men are very good at this, they can compartmentalize it. But we women are a little bit more difficult. But it was funny, because it was like, okay, so I am different, I'm a different energy than my mind. So the mind is here, and then it's easier to visualize, it's not you. I thought it was very helpful.
Thoughts are not us. We are so many things. The problem is that we tend to identify with thoughts. Me and my thoughts. We are in a society where mind is more important than body, for example. It's not true. They are a system. So a good definition of mind is Daniel Siegel's definition of mind. He says that mind is just a process. It is the process regulating energy and information. And it is manifesting in our body in an embodied way and in a relational way. So it says the mind is in the body, embodied, but also in our relationships. So mind is a relational tool. And this is quite...
I wanted to finish.
And this is quite important. Also linked to the theme of this talk of threads. Because we are all linked. My mind here, our minds here are all connected. We are all together. There's mirror neurons, but also emotional contagion. So we feel each other. But in this society, we are losing the capability of feeling because you're too distracted. Distractions is a big problem. It's a big problem because we lose life.
Yeah. True.
I wanted to ask you a question because it feels like a contradiction in terms when you say that we live in a society where the mind is more important than the body, whereas if you look around, it's quite the opposite. So why do you think that the mind is actually more important than the body? In what sense? That's my
This is a very good question. Oh, I love questions this morning.
You know
Oh,
that
wow.
I'm always a bit.
I love questions this morning. Because also this idea where we show up our bodies, there is a society where are showing off in a way, no? So it's because of our habitual patterns of something into the mind. So we don't take care of our body in the sense that taking care, so making friends with who we are, is just showing off. And it always linked to the mind. So there is a kind of separateness between what mind do and what body does. So it's that just minds are considered on a higher level than the physical energy, but it's really the same, because body is just a physical form that we have in this life. So it's us. But it doesn't mean we should identify too much, but it means that we just can take care of mind and body together. So I really think that this contradiction, so the fact that we are showing off bodies and taking care and giving so much importance, is because really it comes from the mind. We feel insecure, so we need to show off, and we are in a society where appearance is more important than substance in a way, sometimes. And so with mindfulness we can just come back to substance, really. So to what is really important, and what is really important is developing a loving relationship also with our body. Training the body doesn't imply that we love our body. Sometimes it's just because I must do that. I need to do that because of, not because I love it, but because I need to
look a certain way, or be slim, or whatever.
Being in a way that society can accept me. It's not taking care. It's not a way of taking care. With mindfulness, we learn to take care. Also train, but in a caring way.
Well, I very much liked what you did with Marta, Chiara and I, and maybe if you can tell us a little bit about some small techniques of how we can bring mindfulness in our everyday life.
Sure.
Some practical tips and tricks of how anyone and everyone could practice mindfulness.
Sure. Well, first of all, when we talk about mindfulness, we train 3 main principles.
Sorry.
So, intention, attention, attitude. So this intention, attention, attitude. And it is very, very important to underline that, because if we are present, we need to intend to be present. So intention is really the key to be mindful. So with the intention, we can be mindful every time, in everything we do. And then we train the attention, that is our superpower, because it's the attention that determines the quality of our lives, of our choices, of how we relate to each other. It's the attention that creates what we see. Our brain is plastic. It means it changes due to the experience we do. But these experiences, we perceive experiences according to how much attention we bring to these experiences. So we need to be trained to be present, to bring attention to life, to what's happening. How? Training attention with attitude, with a kind attitude, open attitude, welcoming life. This idea of I welcome my life. And so, with this in mind, we can do some very small practices, like 5 minutes in the morning, for example. So beginning with settling the intention of being present, 5 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes, I have practices 3 minutes, 1 minute even. So just be there, focuses on the breath, on feelings, noticing thoughts, emotions, feelings. And then when my mind wanders, when my mind gets distracted, my intention of being present will say, oh, I wanted to be present, and then come back to the feelings. And this is meditation. As simple as that. And then, for example, we can, when we walk, just be aware sometimes in some moments, just being aware of our walking, our steps, but also aware of the beautiful environment. If we live in Venice, it's not difficult. Opening to be the wonder. Wonder is important in life. We lost it. Wondering, wow, look there. I mean, where we are. Look where we are. Wow, art. Contemplating. This could be very, very powerful in this environment. Contemplation. Just be there and feel and be. And then, for example, another very good tip is when we go to bed, before going to bed, just spending some minutes on being grateful. Writing or thinking about 3 little things we are grateful of. Very small things. A coffee, beautiful day, piece of art. Very small things. And this also helps us to sleep better. So very small things. And then if you want to learn practicing mindfulness, maybe you need a more structured course. But just to begin with, this is perfect. Just to begin. What is important is really beginning. And then, if you're curious, then you go on. But just begin. Put in the intention of beginning. Small changes. If we don't do anything, nothing will happen. This is sure.
I remember 2 very beautiful things you said, and I'm very proud of myself, incorporated them in my daily life. So Gaia told us a story about, I think, one of your students, or how she introduced these small moments in her life. She put little ribbons on her cups or on like different things. And every time she saw the ribbon, she kind of, in her daily life, she kind of had that moment of, okay, I'll just do 1 minute and I'll just come back to like being present. You see the symbol and it just brings you back to where are you, why are you here? And I really like that. So I put actually some ribbons on things at home. And another thing you said, like incorporate these moments of being present in things you do, but maybe you don't do them with care. Like putting your face cream on every morning or in the evening. And while you put your face cream on, which takes maybe 30 seconds if you do like the full job or whatever, do the movements intentionally, being present and noticing that you're taking care of yourself. And I really like that, and I really think that it can be really easy. Like for me, I think mindfulness is difficult. I have to admit, I find that I'm struggling a lot to do it in my everyday life. But these like small things, they really helped me also to put my mind more to what is actually important. It's not that you make yourself coffee and you think, oh my God, I need to buy coffee beans because they're running out, and then I need to buy milk. No, it's actually about the cup and the coffee and just enjoying the smell and the taste and I really like that.
Yeah, and the company you're sharing coffee with. So yes, really, this is just small things, and it applies to the other meaning of mindfulness. Mindfulness comes from the word sati in Pali language, that means bear attention and also remembering. And these small things like putting ribbons or putting your face cream with care, taking care without saying, oh my goodness, instead just care. And touching, we are not used to touch ourselves. We are like strangers to ourselves. So just touching and feeling how it is. It's just taking care, and it reminds us to the idea that if I remember to be present, I am already present.
Yeah.
So these are very small, simple things that can really help us. Of course, it's like training the body. If you want to train your body, maybe you go to a gym, and then you go there and train your body, but then also in daily life, you need to be careful. You need to maybe do something that help you taking care of your body, like eating well, like you're doing today with beautiful fresh fruit or beautiful fresh vegetables, and but also I don't know, walking instead of going by car or things like that. So with mind is the same. You can train your mind with formal meditation sessions, so longer periods of meditation, and then doing informal things. It's very important to also to be present in daily life. I always say that you can learn mindfulness, but not just to be the perfect meditator. Who cares? If it doesn't change my daily life, who cares? It must have an impact on my daily life. And then I will be more enthusiastic also to do it, because I see the results. And then the results will encourage my intention and motivation, and then I'll do more and more. And this is a virtuous circle. So transforming a vicious circle into a virtuous circle.
I like that. Are there some sources like books or apps or podcasts or things that you'd say you listen to or they have helped you to come closer to mindfulness that you can recommend?
Sure. First of all, Rob Nair's books, because they are very simple, because he was a very good teacher and very, very clear. So Diamond Mind, Diamond Mind I will recommend first, but also From Mindfulness to Insight. That is the pathway of the Mindfulness Association that Rob wrote with Heather Reganadis and Choden, that are the directors of Mindfulness Association. These are very simple and very clear books, where they go straight into the point. And then I do love Rick Hanson's work. I don't have Italian books because I do love foreign, and I trained with foreigners. So, because Rick Hanson told us to focus on positive things, because our mind, we all have negativity bias, so we are all, as an evolutionary tool, we are always focused on what's negative. And this is normal. Minds work like that. But we can decide, choose to focus on positive, to bring balance to our mind. So this is very important. This is the reason why gratitude is so important, because it brings balance to our natural tendency to be focused on negative things. So these are the two main things. But also, if you want to learn more about the social implication of mindfulness, there is Social Mindfulness by Mark Leonard. That is a very, very good book to read. So many things. Or if you are more interested into the science, so more technical, Daniel Siegel's book. Books, there are many books, so really there are so many interesting tools. It depends on what you want, really. And then there is our INNERSIGHT, that we are providing all our courses. So if you want to check on our website, we will have loads of courses, paths, and many different tools for different people. Also free meditation, because we offer free meditation every Friday. So, of course, because what is really important is developing a generous attitude. Doesn't mean doing everything for free, because people sometimes misunderstand being generous. Doesn't mean you don't have to gain or have money, because we all need to live. Generosity is an attitude of giving, of letting go, becoming an eco, going from ego to eco. Egocentric means mine, me, mine, and then trouble. Eco means me, but I am also open to give to others. So generosity means an attitude of giving, of being open. And so for that, we always offer something for free. So a free meditation every Friday evening, online on Zoom, free for everyone. We just have a break on Christmas and on August. And then it's always there. Just a bit of holiday, and then panettone, and then mindfulness. And we began during the pandemic to connect with people, because people needed connection, and it's still there.
And when you yourself practice mindfulness, do you do it with an app? Or do you do it with music? Do you have like a time that you stop, or how do you do it?
Yeah, I always have a timer, because what is really important is that mindfulness is also a kind of discipline. We don't like the word discipline, but we need it, being a bit disciplined. So it's a kind discipline. So I decide first, before meditating, I decide how long it will take my meditation. So I put my timer on, and then I meditate. And that's all, because I know how to guide myself. But to begin with, maybe it's useful to have some guided meditation to begin with, because it's more easy. It's easier for us not to get caught in thinking if we had a guide. So at the beginning, it's useful, helpful to have a guided meditation. So now, because I've been meditating for 14 years now, so I'm okay. But at first, yes, I had a guided meditation. And if you want to, if we have time, 1 minute meditation, we can do it.
Yeah.
Would you like to?
Yeah. Perfect. What time is it? Yeah.
Okay. So just find yourself in a comfortable position. And just settling the intention of knowing what's happening, why it's happening, without any preference. Welcoming everything that is coming to mind in this moment. And just noticing how we are in this moment. How do we feel? We can just notice thoughts, feelings, emotions. And then we bring our attention to the breathing, just feeling the breath. Just feel the feeling of the breath. And if the mind wanders, it's totally okay. We just notice where it goes, and then come back to the feeling of the breath. And then from the feeling of the breath, we can expand our attention to the body, feeling all the feelings. Maybe the contact with the chair. And then expand again to the space around us. We can open our eyes, looking around. Look in this beautiful room where we are in. And just go on with our day.
Thank you, Gaia.
Thank you.
One last thing I wanted to say, because I remember you told us you have something coming up for the Christmas period on your Instagram.
Sure, yeah. We are going to have an advent calendar. So it's on our newsletter, so by email. It's free, and every day we prepared like a word. Every day there is a reflection, a mindful reflection on a word. And it's a way to spend December, that is quite frenetic, hectic month. Beginning the day, slowing down and reflecting, and also giving December the meaning of December. So wait and appreciate. So if you want, you can check there, or write us to info@innersight.it, and yeah.
Fantastic.
And so you can have our advent calendar every day for free until Christmas, so 25 words.
25 words.
25 words.
That's nice. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for reminding us to remember our mind and to be present. And thank you all so much for coming. And I invite you for some coffee and some fruit and some centrifuge to start healthy into this very cold but beautiful November day.
Thank you. Thank you.